Someone with dark hair is working against you, and they secretly doing this. Archangel Michael says, this message is not reaching you by chance. There is a hidden hand moving against you, and the signs have been building for some time. Someone close, someone you might even share words with, carries a shadow over their head, and they have dark hair, marked as a sign of the role they play in this unfolding plan. The truth cannot stay buried any longer. There is an energy circling your life that is not born from light, but from envy, rivalry, and betrayal. That is why this message has found you at this very moment, because heaven is tearing the veil away from what is hidden. God says, the one with dark hair is weaving threads of deception behind your back. These words carry urgency because you have not yet seen the depth of their intent. You are being warned, not to bring fear, but to bring preparation and divine protection before the trap fully closes. This is why you must stay with this message until the end. The revelations will not only open your eyes to who this person is but also protect you from their secret moves. The closer you move toward the final words, the stronger the shield of heaven will form around you. Their energy has been circling you like a shadow, waiting for moments of weakness to strike. It is no accident that you have been feeling sudden drains, unexplained heaviness, or a sense that someone is watching your steps. These are not coincidences, they are signals of the influence trying to creep into your space. The dark-haired person has not chosen this path overnight. Jealousy has been growing inside them quietly, like a seed watered daily by envy of your light. They feel overshadowed by your progress, and now they want to create cracks in your path. They pretend to smile when you succeed, but inside, their heart burns with resentment. They talk softly in your presence, yet their words are sharper when your back is turned. Their plan is not loud or obvious, it is built on whispers, manipulations, and subtle moves designed to turn others against you. Archangel Michael declares, this is why heaven steps in now. If you knew the full weight of what they intend, you would not sleep in peace. But the time of ignorance is ending, the warning is clear, and the light will expose what was done in darkness. Even now, the enemy's actions are already in motion. There are conversations happening that carry your name, but not in honor. A network of small lies, planted like seeds, is being spoken to bend opinions against you. This person is strategic, they know how to appear trustworthy in front of others. They play their role carefully, never revealing the shadow within. But behind closed doors, they pour poison into the ears of anyone willing to listen. You may have noticed sudden shifts in people around you. A friend who once laughed with you is suddenly distant. An ally you thought was steady now hesitates, and the hand behind this change is the dark-haired one. God says, their words are not stronger than my truth, but you must remain awake. This means you are not defenseless, but you must be wise, alert, and guided to recognize what is moving in silence. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 555 to reject every whisper spoken against your name. The dark-haired person thrives in shadows because they know exposure is their greatest enemy. They do not want you to know the full scale of what they are doing. That is why their actions come in fragments, never in full sight, always in half-truths. They are feeding doubts about you into others, making small suggestions, casting suspicions, shaping how people view your intentions. They do this so carefully that those around you believe they are discovering things on their own. This is how deception grows unnoticed. But heaven sees the strings they are pulling. And just as light reveals dust floating in the air, this divine message reveals the fine threads of manipulation that were designed to trap you. You cannot fight what you cannot see, and that is why exposure is your weapon today. Archangel Michael's voice cuts through. You are not called to live in fear. You are called to stand in the authority of the light. And the one with dark hair will not succeed, for their plan is already unraveling in the presence of truth. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 222 if you believe their plans are crumbling now. This battle is not simply about you and this person, it is about the light you carry. They see your destiny as something too bright for them to tolerate. They believe that if they can dim you, they can rise higher themselves. But they do not understand one thing: what is divinely appointed cannot be stolen. The crown set for you is beyond their reach. Their hands may try, but their grasp will always fall short. Still, they push forward with desperation. This is why you feel the atmosphere around you shifting. This is why unexpected resistance rises in your path, why things suddenly become harder without explanation. God says, do not give them your fear, for fear feeds them. Give them silence, for silence breaks their hold. These words are not just comfort, they are strategy. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 111 if you receive the strength to remain unshaken. The enemy believes their steps are hidden, but heaven allows nothing to remain concealed forever. Their confidence is built on shadows, but shadows disappear the moment light floods in. This is why the truth is breaking through at this very hour. You may not have connected the patterns until now. The drained energy, the sudden betrayals, the shifting glances, they were not random. They were the fingerprints of the one with dark hair, moving in silence against you. Their envy is not a passing thought, it has hardened into intent. And intent, when fueled by jealousy, can become dangerous. That is why the Archangel's message reaches you now, pulling the mask from their face. Archangel Michael declares, you will not walk blind another day. Their name is being etched into your awareness. Their face will no longer hide behind false friendship, because light exposes all. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 777 to claim full clarity over your life. The dark-haired one thrives on manipulation. They twist words into weapons and disguise motives as care. But in reality, their every move is a calculated strike to weaken your spirit and your standing. They spread their poison subtly. A word here, a suggestion there, a raised eyebrow when your name is mentioned. Over time, this slow drip builds a storm in the minds of others. But today the storm is interrupted. Light has stepped in to show you the invisible hand stirring waves against you. And once you see it, it loses its power to stay hidden. God says, your shield is not built from stone but from light. And light cannot be pierced by lies. This is the covering placed upon you now. Even now, the dark-haired person underestimates you. They believe you are unaware, easy to sway, and blind to their schemes. They have mistaken your silence for weakness. But silence is a sword when guided by heaven. Silence exposes their desperation as they scramble for reactions you refuse to give. And in their scramble, they reveal more than they intend. The archangel's voice comes strong: do not chase after them. Do not waste energy trying to prove yourself. For heaven is already moving to turn their traps against them. Their own words will circle back. Their own actions will betray them. And those who once doubted you will soon see where the deception truly came from. The dark-haired one has aligned themselves with forces not of light. Their thoughts are heavy with envy, and envy always attracts destruction. They do not see that the same trap they dig for you is also their own. This is why your awareness today is crucial. Once you know what moves against you, you can step carefully, refusing to walk into their snares. Awareness is the first layer of protection, and you now carry it. God says, do not let bitterness enter your heart. For the moment you carry bitterness, you mirror the one who fights you. These words are strength to keep you untangled from their shadow. Archangel Michael affirms, stand in calmness, and you will outlast their storm. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 111 to walk with calmness that cannot be shaken. The person with dark hair does not operate alone. They whisper to others, recruiting ears to believe their tale. They build alliances in secrecy, hoping to strengthen their attack against you. But what they forget is that alliances built on lies are fragile. One crack, one moment of truth, and everything they built falls apart. What stands on deception cannot survive the weight of light. This is why their plans feel strong now but will not endure. The archangel's message is clear: their momentum is temporary, but your endurance is eternal. You are being lifted above their schemes. Their words will scatter like dust in the wind. Their alliances will dissolve. And you will still be standing when the dust clears. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 444 to outlast every alliance of darkness. The dark-haired one feels powerful in the present moment, but power rooted in deception is like sand underfoot. It shifts, it collapses, it betrays its own foundation. What feels solid today becomes ruin tomorrow. Archangel Michael whispers, you must not be moved by appearances. What looks threatening is already weakening. Their power is only an illusion, and illusions dissolve under light. This is why you must stay to the end of this message. Every word is designed to pull you further out of their trap and closer into the circle of protection. This is your shield being woven around you. God says, the one with dark hair cannot touch what I have sealed. That is the divine verdict over your destiny. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 222 if you believe no hand can undo what has been sealed for you. The schemes against you have roots in jealousy, but also in fear. They fear the greatness of your future. They see the glow of opportunity upon you, and it terrifies them. This is why they act against you. Their attack is not random, it is a reaction to the light they cannot control. They are trying to dim what heaven has ordained to shine. But the archangel's voice is clear: they will fail because destiny cannot be dimmed. Light cannot be stolen. It only grows stronger when resisted. The pressure you feel now is proof of your rising. Pressure is never placed on what has no value. The enemy attacks only treasures, never emptiness. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 888 if you know you are a treasure protected by heaven. The dark-haired one has grown bold recently. They are testing boundaries, speaking words more openly, and revealing their envy in sharper tones. What they once whispered, they now hint more loudly. This shift is not accidental, it is because their time is running short. They are being pressed by forces they cannot control, and the closer they come to exposure, the more desperate they become. Archangel Michael says, "Do not confuse their noise with strength." The louder they become, the closer they are to collapse. Remember, desperation always screams before defeat. What feels like an attack now is actually the sound of their own downfall echoing. They will not rise beyond this point. They are already unraveling in their attempt to rise against you. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 333 to declare that their downfall is near. Even in their unraveling, they still plan. They still plot behind closed doors, believing they are clever. They do not realize that every step they take is being watched from above. Heaven allows their moves to expose themselves. The more they try, the clearer their role becomes to those around them. They cannot hide forever, because truth has already started pulling their mask away. God says, "Your vindication will not come from your hands, but from mine." You will not need to shout to be believed, the light of exposure will speak for you. Archangel Michael affirms, "Patience is your greatest weapon. For in patience, you let heaven fight the battle that is not yours to carry." The one with dark hair is losing ground. They are being cornered by their own actions. Each lie they release forces them into deeper webs of contradiction. Those who once believed them are beginning to notice cracks. Their stories no longer align. Their tone shifts, their face twitches, and people are beginning to wonder. This is how heaven works, allowing deception to collapse under its own weight. You don't need to expose them, time and truth are already unraveling their disguise. Their downfall will not be by your hand, but by their own missteps. This is justice in its purest form. The dark-haired one underestimated you. They thought you would break under pressure, but you did not. They thought you would run, but you stood still. And now, your strength is becoming their torment. For nothing frustrates the deceiver more than seeing the target still standing. Nothing enrages envy more than endurance. Archangel Michael says, "Your endurance is your weapon." Every day you refuse to fall is another day their schemes weaken. This is why you must keep standing. Do not allow fatigue to make you stumble, for you are closer to victory than you realize. The person with dark hair does not understand the weight of the light that surrounds you. They think you are alone, but your steps are guided. Every choice you make is wrapped in divine oversight, and that makes their attack fragile. Their envy is a mirror of their emptiness. They look at your blessings and see what they lack. They cannot bear the reflection of their own failure, so they turn their bitterness into action against you. But bitterness is a fire that consumes its holder. Every word they speak against you burns their own spirit. They are fueling their destruction even as they plot yours. Archangel Michael declares, "You will not be touched by their flame." What they built for your harm will become their downfall. And the ashes they create will never touch your skin. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 333 to reject every fire sent against you. The enemy operates through confusion. They twist clarity into doubt, making others question what they once believed about you. Confusion is their weapon, but clarity is your shield. That is why this message comes now, to bring clarity. Every tangled thread is being pulled apart, and soon the whole design of their deception will be plain before your eyes. What once was hidden will stand uncovered. God says, the truth cannot be silenced. Lies may spread quickly, but they crumble when truth rises. These words are the anchor keeping you steady in this storm. The archangel's voice cuts through. You are standing on truth, and truth is unshakable. Let them shout, let them plot, for none of it changes the ground you walk on. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 555 if you believe truth will outlast every lie. The dark-haired one thought they were clever. They believed they could smile at you while planting daggers behind your back. They thought you would never notice the heaviness they brought into your life. But you did notice. In your spirit, you felt it. You may not have had proof, but you had knowing, and that knowing was heaven whispering to you. This is why this message is confirmation. You were not imagining it. The heaviness was real, the betrayal was present, and the whispers were true. Archangel Michael says, this confirmation is your liberation. Once you know the truth, you cannot be bound by their lies anymore. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 222 if you receive this confirmation as your liberation. The one with dark hair is being exposed in stages. First, through your awareness. Second, through the cracks forming in their mask. And finally, through the collapse of their plans in front of others. This staged exposure ensures their defeat is complete. If everything came at once, they would escape accountability. But step by step, their downfall becomes undeniable. God says, I am a God of order, and exposure will come in order. That is why patience is vital. You are watching the unraveling of a deceiver, and it is already too late for them to recover. Archangel Michael confirms, stand firm, for justice is not delayed. It is unfolding with precision, and every step is moving in your favor. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 999 if you trust the process of justice unfolding. The dark-haired one is starting to feel pressure. They sense something slipping away, though they can't yet explain it. Their confidence is cracking, and their boldness is shrinking. What they don't know is that this is the weight of exposure. Heaven's light is pressing down on their actions. The lies they built are becoming heavy to carry. Soon, even their allies will feel the shift. Those who once believed them will begin to question. And when questions rise, their entire story collapses. Archangel Michael speaks, this is the turning point. The ground beneath them is no longer steady, and soon their own feet will betray them. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 444 if you believe the ground is shifting under their schemes. They thought they could silence you by building false narratives. They thought they could control perception. But perception is not truth, and truth is breaking free. The archangel whispers, do not waste your voice defending yourself endlessly. Speak only when led, and let heaven do the rest. For silence in light is louder than noise in darkness. Your silence has already unsettled them. They expect you to fight, to panic, to scramble. But instead, you remain steady, and that is your victory. God says, "Be still, and you will see them fall without lifting a finger." These are not just words, they are the unfolding of divine justice. The one with dark hair underestimated the strength of your spirit. They thought they were dealing with someone fragile, someone easy to bend. But what they didn't realize is that your roots are deep, planted in divine ground. Their envy makes them restless. They cannot stand your resilience, so they keep striking in hopes that one blow will finally break you. Yet every attempt only shows them how unshakable you really are. Archangel Michael declares, "You were not built to break under envy. You were built to shine brighter when pressed." Their envy is proof of your light, and your endurance is proof of your calling. This is why you are still here, still standing, still rising, even as their whispers spread. You are unshaken because heaven's hand is holding you steady. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 333 if you believe your roots are too deep to be moved. The dark-haired one is beginning to panic. They sense their plans slipping from their grip. What they thought would be a quiet victory is turning into loud failure. They built their schemes on shifting sand, and now the waves of truth are washing over them. They cannot hold together the lies they've told. One lie exposes another, and their mask begins to tear. God says, their downfall is already written. Their path of deception leads only to their own ruin. This is not a possibility, it is a certainty. Archangel Michael affirms, the sound of their collapse is already echoing. You may not hear it yet, but the ground beneath them is trembling. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 555 if you believe their collapse has already begun. The whispers they spread are turning into chains around their own neck. They thought their words would bind you, but instead, those same words are binding them. What they created for your destruction is circling back upon their own life. This is how divine justice moves. It allows the deceiver to walk into the very snare they built for others. They become the prisoner of their own envy. And soon, others will see it clearly. The same people they tried to turn against you will recognize their lies. What was once confusion will become undeniable clarity. Archangel Michael's voice rises, exposure is not coming, it has already started. What was hidden in whispers will soon be shouted in daylight. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 222 if you know exposure is already working in your favor. The person with dark hair carries a heavy heart. They cannot find peace because envy does not allow rest. Even when they smile, their spirit is restless, searching for ways to undo your light. But what they fail to understand is that no one can undo what heaven has written. They can delay, they can distract, but they cannot erase what is sealed. Your destiny is untouchable. This is why they fail to rest, because they are fighting against something eternal. To oppose your calling is to oppose heaven itself, and that battle cannot be won. God says, you are sealed, and your path is guarded. Those words carry finality, what is sealed cannot be stolen. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 444 if you believe your destiny is untouchable. They will soon reveal themselves more than ever before. Their desperation is growing, and desperation makes people careless. They will try harder, and in trying harder, they will expose themselves completely. This is why you must remain calm. Their exposure is not your work, it is theirs. The very steps they take will light the path to their downfall. Archangel Michael says, patience will let you see the full unraveling. Do not rush, do not force, for every move they make is a thread pulling their own disguise apart. Soon, what was hidden will be undeniable. And once it is undeniable, justice will be swift. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 777 if you are ready to watch their mask fall. The dark-haired one does not know they are already defeated. They believe they still hold power, but the truth is, they lost the battle the moment light revealed their intent. They are simply walking toward their own collapse. Their steps are shaky now. You may notice them slipping, hesitating, or stumbling in ways they never did before. This is not random, it is the weight of justice pressing down. God says, do not envy their position, for it is temporary. They stand on borrowed ground, and it is already crumbling. These words remind you that their rise was only an illusion. Archangel Michael speaks, you are standing on eternal ground. That is why you remain, even as they fall. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 111 if you believe you stand on eternal ground. The dark-haired one watches you closely. They study your movements, your choices, even your moments of silence. They are searching for weakness, waiting for an opening. But what they do not realize is that heaven guards even your silence. Your pauses are not empty, they are filled with protection. Even when you say nothing, the archangel surrounds you. Their watchful eyes are not stronger than divine covering. Their gaze may be sharp, but light blinds their vision. What they think they see, they cannot truly touch. Archangel Michael declares, you are surrounded, even when unaware. No shadow can slip past the circle of light that guards your life. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 333 if you believe you are surrounded by light. The dark-haired person hides their envy behind gestures of kindness. They pretend to care, but the care is hollow. Their words drip with sweetness, but the taste is bitter when swallowed. This false kindness is their disguise. It allows them to get close, to gather information, to learn your steps. But even this disguise is cracking. For every mask grows heavy with time. They cannot keep pretending forever. And soon, the weight of pretense will force their true face into the open. God says, masks fall in the presence of truth. And the truth is already shining on them now. Backhand index pointing right. Type Amen 555 if you know their mask is about to fall. The schemes against you are not random, they are designed. They are crafted in silence, woven carefully with deception, and aimed at the heart of your destiny. But no design of darkness can overturn the blueprint of heaven. This is why you have felt the atmosphere shift around you. You sense it even without proof, the heaviness, the resistance, the sudden obstacles. These are the ripples of their hidden work. Yet every ripple is seen from above. Heaven does not miss a single detail, not a single whisper. Every hidden action is already written into the scroll of exposure. Archangel Michael says, their design will collapse, for it was never built on truth. Truth is the only foundation that stands, and they do not have it. The dark-haired one thought their alliances would hold. They gathered people through persuasion, convincing others of their stories. They thought numbers would make them strong. But alliances built on lies cannot last. Each ally will see cracks, each friend will feel the unease, and slowly, their network will scatter. What they built will turn against them. God says, confusion will strike their camp. And confusion has already begun, dividing their words, exposing their motives, and breaking apart their fragile unity. Archangel Michael declares, they will be left alone, stripped of their borrowed voices, standing in the ruins of their own schemes. The dark-haired person underestimated divine timing. They thought they could choose when to strike, when to rise, when to win. But time is not in their hands, it belongs to heaven. That is why their steps feel delayed. What they hoped would move quickly is slowing. What they thought would succeed easily is stumbling. You may not see the full picture yet, but know this, every delay is divine. Every slow moment is heaven putting their plan into confusion. God says, their timing is broken. My timing rules. And His timing is your victory. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 444 if you trust heaven's timing above their schemes. The one with dark hair grows weaker by the day. Their envy drains them. Their lies exhaust them. They are losing energy while you are gaining strength. Every attempt they make costs them. Every whisper they spread eats at their spirit. They are burning themselves with their own fire. Archangel Michael says, they will not outlast you. Their energy cannot sustain a fight against destiny. They are already running out of breath. And when their energy is gone, only your light will remain. For light never fades, it only grows. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 777 if you believe their energy is fading while yours is rising. Their downfall will not be quiet. It will not be hidden. The same way they tried to expose you, they themselves will be exposed. Exposure will be loud, undeniable, and public. It will be seen by those who once doubted you. And in that moment, truth will vindicate your name. God says, vindication is mine. You will not need to lift your voice, for heaven will speak louder than any defense you could offer. Archangel Michael confirms, your name will shine, and their shadow will vanish. Backhand index pointing right, type Amen 111 if you believe vindication is already on its way.